brainstorming. You need a group of people to come up with a new set of ideas. So how do you approach it? In this video, I'm going to look at one such technique called the Collective Notebook method. So this is a tool that I've used to try to get some ideas, try to extract some ideas out of people in the past. And it can be a great way of capturing those shower moments when you're taking a shower and suddenly you think of this great idea, problem solving for the office, but you're at home in the shower. So the Collective Notebook method aims to address that problem. And I'm going to share with you in this video how to do it. So put simply first, the Collective Notebook is a great way if you have one facilitator, one person in charge, and then a group of people who are supporting that creative process. Because the way to get started, the first step in the Collective Notebook technique is to distribute these notebooks to the different people. Now, it's a good idea to put some, at least, guidance inside the notebook. Apart from, of course, you give everyone a brief about what's going to go on, how this Collective Notebook method works. But if you're the one in charge of this session, I recommend putting some detail inside the notebook first. Something like problem characteristics or problems that came up from other ideas. So problem characteristics can be some of the maybe constraints that you have on your problem, or some of the, like it says, characteristics about the problem. Like say if you're looking for to save energy, or to say your problem was about improving energy usage in some system. So let's say that saving energy or energy use is one of the characteristics of your problem. Similarly, problems from other ideas. So if you include some of the other ideas that you might have solved for a different problem, sharing some of the problems in an idea that you came up with for a different solution might then prompt people to think about those solutions for this current problem, some of the ideas that they might come up with. So it is a creative brainstorming process, and sometimes those tangential thoughts can really add to a person's creativity, or prompt some creativity within a person, particularly in those shower moments I was talking about earlier. So step by step to do this Collective Notebook method, the first step, of course, is to distribute those notebooks. Those notebooks that I just talked about in the last one, where you include some prompts on the problem or similar problems from other solutions, similar solutions to other problems, something inside that notebook that can jot the ideas of your audience. So distribute those notebooks. Now, I had a bit of a problem when I tried to do this in a foreign country. There were in the midst of travel restrictions, I was trying to order company branded notebooks specifically to give to a client so that they could participate in this idea generating process. So I was sent in the direction, unfortunately, of a shop that was unavailable to be ordered from online. You really had to go there to do the bargaining. And then it was another problem to overcome, having to mail those notebooks out to people. So unfortunately, we relied on the client using their own notebooks in that circumstance. But that aside, it should be a promising brainstorming technique, even if you don't have your own branded notebooks to hand out to the people in the group. So the minimum requirement, I'd probably recommend using a smaller notebook, maybe an A5, A6 size rather than A4, so that you get the chance to take it more places. The idea is for each participant to be more portable, that they can come up with their ideas anytime and write them down. I don't recommend doing it on a phone. I've tried idea generation on a phone before, particularly as it's the right size for this sort of problem. Though a phone, once you open up a phone, you can get distracted before you get to a notes app. This really is a pen and paper technique, and I highly recommend sticking to the pen and paper. So I like to hand draw things like this. It gives it a bit more personality. I like to draw these tools out to really work through them with an audience, step by step, just as I've shown here on the screen. So that's what this channel is about, sharing the tools that I've used in the workplace to add value to various solutions. I'm an engineer who consults on various projects. And these are the tools that I've used to deliver value in those projects, in the engineering work and in the office. So feel free to hit subscribe and follow along if that's the sort of thing that interests you. If you're interested in finding out more about tools like this that you can use in the office to generate value. So that's the first step, to distribute the notebook. The second step is to wait. So I like to wait 1 to 4 weeks. It depends on how much time you've got for this. It really needs a few overnight sessions where the participants could go away and think about the ideas. So in this case, I probably recommend a minimum of 1 to 4 weeks so that in that time, the person who facilitates goes through some regular prompts. So they maybe send out an email, a daily email to the participants to remind them, or send out a WhatsApp or SMS message to maybe include some more details on those problem characteristics or similar solutions, or to guide the participants in what sort of ideas they can come up with. Try not to be prescriptive if you're doing this yourself. If you're too prescriptive, the participants might not be creative enough. So try to keep the ideas free-flowing. That's why some of the tangential problems or tangential problem characteristics or tangential ideas can provide value here, because while you're thinking about one problem, you can come through and suddenly your brain ticks and says, oh, that's applicable to this problem in this way. And you can put it together like that. So regular prompts, but try not to be prescriptive when you're doing it. And then at the same time, during this waiting period, the audience gives some regular contributions to their notebook. So that's why they carry the notebook around, so that they can jot down ideas as they have them. Then, after this waiting period of constant reminders, try not to inundate the audience as well. People, while they might appreciate the occasional prompt, if you do it too often, it'll just be dismissed as spam, like spam email. So I'd recommend maybe, if it's 1 week, maybe 3 or 4 times. If it goes on for 4 weeks, maybe say twice a week might be a good idea. So then, after the waiting period, collect all the ideas. And this is when you can compile the report for whichever stakeholder you're putting the ideas together for, or if it's yourself, to come up with then a way forward. After collecting the ideas, there is an optional discuss step. Sometimes depending on the project or assignment, sometimes you should discuss further with the audience. Now, in projects I've typically done, the audience likes to, the client that I have likes to extract the ideas from the audience and then leave them alone. That's it. So sometimes it's valuable to have a discussion though with the audience, particularly because the next thing to get out of it is an implementation plan, a set of steps, a way forward, or a how-to on how to turn these ideas into a solution. So typically something like that would be a step-by-step process, though there can be another part to developing that. So hit subscribe if you're interested in hearing about that. I'll be making a video shortly on how to go from ideas to more specific solutions or some sort of system of solutions to put together. I come from a systems background, so the sort of inputs and outputs, processing, interfaces, risks of a system is the model that I apply to problem solving. And those tools from systems is what I'm sharing here on this channel to help you improve in your business or as an engineer. So just to summarize, that is distribute the notebook, wait a few weeks, then collect the notebook, and finally have a discussion period if necessary. So that's the collective notebook method. If you're interested in finding out more about this sort of thing, please leave a comment below. Please also hit like if this video helped you out, and also hit subscribe if you're interested in hearing about these sorts of business tools that can be used to add value in your organization. So hopefully I'll see you in the next video.